Hey, Dwight Clow here, shooting outside again, and I think we have a train in the background, so hear that whistle? We'll just we'll put up with a little bit of this. Hey, just a quick shout out to David Schrank. I just want to thank you for the books you sent. I so much appreciate you. Thank you for all the goodies that you've sent me over the years. That's really nice. I am all about helping people experience God and make a difference. And today, I am going to show you how you can make an invisible God visible. And now, what do I mean by that? Well, it's easy to, just tossing those books down for the moment, it's easy to think, well, God is way out there and way beyond my reach, and there's no way I can prove that God exists, and I try to prove it to my friends who aren't believers, and they don't pay any attention, and it's just it is sometimes maddening to talk to people who just haven't come to the point of belief yet. And so maybe, just maybe, we're going at this thing the wrong way. And let me tell you a little story I heard over the weekend at the Wesleyan Bible Church in Partyville, Wisconsin. Pastor Chris Sherrick was telling us about something that happened to him when he was a very young man. He had made a couple of wrong turns in his life, and he ended up in a place where he was destitute, where he was in really bad shape. And in response to just his terrible situation, he was out of money, out of friends, nothing was going his way. He just went into a church one day to pray and just ended up crying out to God and just breaking down and sobbing. And anyway, the pastor came in and just listened to him, just spent, I don't know, maybe an hour just listening to him. And then he started getting him some groceries and gave him a gift card to a grocery store. And he didn't stop there. He took him to a gas station, filled up his car with gas, and he turned to him and said, "I want you to know something. I believe in you." And Pastor Chris was telling us how that experience just was a turning point for him, just really completely turned his life around. And so we are talking about the gift of your influence. We're on day 12, and we're working our way through 7 transforming identities, and we are on, I have to look at my cheat sheet here, we are on identity number 2. And identity 2 is found again in the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world." He said, a city hidden on a city placed on a hill cannot be hidden. He said, "So let your light shine before men, so that they can see your good deeds and glorify your Father who is in heaven." I want you to notice a couple of things about that passage. Number one, you are the light of the world. You know, I can only think of one example in the Bible where God calls himself something and he calls us something, and that is light. He calls us the light of the world, and it says in the Bible that God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. And so being the light of the world is one way that we reflect the very identity of God. And how are we the light of the world? Well, Jesus said, so that they can see your good deeds. Notice what Jesus is saying. He's saying, I believe in you. I know that you are going to do good deeds. I know that you are going to do acts of kindness in your world. And these acts of kindness, more than our arguments, more than our theological discussions, more than our proofs, are going to reveal the presence of God, are going to show people who God is, and are going to prove the existence of God. As so many people have said, I was an atheist, I was far from God, I didn't believe in God, and then people started being kind to me. What is that kindness? That is the light of God shining through our lives at people in need. So anyway, your second transforming identity, you are the light of the world. All of us collectively are the light, and each of us carries that light from Jesus. And tomorrow we'll talk about the third identity. I'm looking forward to that. That's I got a neat story to go with that. Meanwhile, while we're waiting, I want to invite you to stop by my store, kim51.com. That's kim51.com. I have a free gift waiting for you, and I hope you'll enjoy it. And then we'll see you next time. Thanks.